Hi there, this is Megan Kelly, and today we're going to be talking about all about hormones and your mind and how to get both running on track to make you feel and look your absolute best. And I'm just going to start out with a little bit about me. So I started out as a licensed esthetician, and I was really working with my clients, dealing with their skin issues from the inside out, and trying to heal from the inside out and get glowing, beautiful skin from the inside out, which was great, and I loved that. And then I started dealing with my own hormonal issues, hormonal and health issues. So I had terrible acne. My cycles were missing after I got off birth control, and then they were super, super irregular. I dealt with terrible, terrible, terrible anxiety, and that made it really hard for my husband and I to get pregnant because of my cycles were gone. And so it was just kind of a really hard time. So then I knew I wanted to go deeper. And so that's when I started all my training in functional nutrition and functional medicine, women's endocrinology, neuroscience, quantum biology, and quantum hormonology, which has completely and amazingly transformed my life. And so basically I study the power of the mind over the body, and I study the root cause of any health issue or problem or concern you may have. And I just study how to become free and abundant and stay free and abundant, spiritually, mentally, and physically. And you can find my husband and I over at Renewing All Things. Okay, so to start this class, we're going to start it out with knowing that it takes a complete functional, mental, and spiritual approach to be healthy and to balance your hormones. So what I learned is that you can't just eat the best and do the best supplements and heal. You can't just try to change your mind to heal. You have to do it all together. And what I learned through all of my training and just studies in neuroscience and mind-body connection, I healed amazingly. My life is completely different. I'm currently 7 months pregnant, and it's just really my mission and passion to help as many women as I can balance their hormones, because we know that hormones control everything. How we look, how we feel, our metabolism, our skin, everything, our mood. And so we want to get those really, really imbalanced. But it takes a mental and body approach to do that. So here I'm going to go into the 5 steps we need to balance hormones. So the first half of this presentation is going to be how you deal with your body to balance hormones, and the second half will be dealing with your mind. Okay, so step 1 to balancing your hormones in your mind is what you eat and how you eat. So the 2 main components are you need to eat healing foods and avoid toxic foods. And then you need to eat in a way that balances your hormones and your blood sugar. And we'll go into that. So number 1, if you don't give your body the building blocks it needs, it can't make the hormones and brain chemicals you need to look and feel your best. So hormones and neurotransmitters are made of certain building blocks, certain essential fatty acids and certain amino acids. If you're not getting those through your food, your body's just not going to make them. And so that's why it's really, really important to make sure you're getting in a really, really nutrient-dense diet, to make sure you're giving your body all the building blocks it needs to function properly. Second component, okay, is your blood sugar. So what happens when you have unbalanced blood sugar is it spikes your cortisol, which then steals your sex hormones like progesterone and estrogen, which creates mood issues, and it spikes insulin, which makes your body store fat. So basically, when your blood sugar spikes, insulin and cortisol get spiked, which mess with your sex hormones, which make you feel good, look good, and make you be how you want to be. So We really, really got to manage our blood sugar, and I will show you how to do that. First, pretty basic. I think most of you almost probably already know what an anti-inflammatory diet looks like. Full of vegetables, leafy greens, fermented foods, healing proteins like wild-caught fish and salmon and sardines, pasture-raised eggs, any kind of organic pasture-raised beef and chicken, nuts, seeds, so grains like quinoa and amaranth, and just small amounts of good fruit. And then obviously we want to avoid processed foods, fast foods, sugar, non-organic meats, non-organic dairy, and vegetable oils and gluten. So the more we can stick to that, the better building blocks our body will have to heal. So now we know what to eat. It's important to know how you eat is more important than what you eat, which is actually really surprising. So you could be eating the best, most healthy food in the world, but if your body's not absorbing the nutrients from it, then it's not going to do anything. So that's why you have to eat in a way that allows your body to do that. So to balance your blood sugar and to eat well throughout the day, this is kind of what it looks like. Starting your day with a big glass of water to flush out and help your liver, which we'll talk about later. And starting your day with good fat, protein, and fiber. This is like stabilizing your blood sugar for the rest of the day, stabilizing your hormones for the rest of the day, which is really, really nice. If you wake up and don't eat for a while, or if you wake up and just drink coffee or caffeine, both of that spikes your blood sugar, which we mentioned spikes cortisol and spikes insulin, and causes that downhill spiral of hormones from there. So we really want to start our day with good protein and fat. I love doing it with a protein smoothie full of avocado or coconut butter and really good fermented protein powder, greens. You can also just do eggs, anything that's really good with protein and fiber. And then at every meal, try to have really good protein, fiber, and fat. So what causes blood sugar imbalances might surprise you. Drinking caffeine on an empty stomach, not good for hormones. Eating meals high in sugar and carbohydrates like cereal, breads, pasta, even just eating a lot of fruit at once, all of that unfortunately spikes your blood sugar, which then again spikes insulin, spikes cortisol, steals your progesterone, which is your feel-good hormone. We don't want that. So we really need meals that are good in fiber and protein and fat to have that stable blood sugar, to have those stable hormones. The second part of how you eat is it's so important and very underrated to actually sit down and breathe and enjoy your food and chew it. Because when we're eating on the run, we're eating fast, our body is not in the right state, the parasympathetic state, to actually digest, absorb, and assimilate our nutrients that we're eating from the food. Basically, you're eating it and it's just kind of sitting there, which sometimes you could probably feel and get bloated. So it's very important to sit and chew your meals, and to also not have liquids 30 minutes before or at least an hour after your meals, because when you drink liquids, it dilutes all your digestive enzymes that are in your saliva. The enzymes that are in your spit are what break down your food. So if you dilute those, you're going to have a very hard time digesting those nutrients. So if we can just eat good protein, fiber throughout the day, enjoy, slow down and eat our meals, eat an anti-inflammatory diet, that makes a world of difference. Just some quick tidbits. Hormone superfoods are sprouts, especially broccoli sprouts, cruciferous vegetables, B vitamins, cod liver oil, probiotics, and bone broth, which I have a whole post about all of those. I won't go into them too much about right right here, but we can learn more about that later. Okay, step 2. Step 2 to balancing your hormones is we have to have daily gut and microbiome and liver rejuvenation. So your gut and your microbiome and your liver are responsible for absorbing nutrients and getting them where they need to go in your body. They detoxify your body, they circulate your hormones, and they protect you from disease. So eating foods that support your gut and microbiome and liver and avoiding things that harm them is critical for healthy hormones. So your gut, your liver or damaged gut is actually the main reason for most hormonal issues. Okay? A lot of people have something called leaky gut right now. Most of us do, to some degree or another, some worse, which basically means we have little holes in our intestines that food's getting out into our bloodstream and causing inflammation and imbalance in the body. And liver, when our liver is too burdened with all of the toxins that we're getting through our personal care products and food, can't circulate the hormones that it needs to. So we really got to take good care of our gut and our liver. So things that harm your gut and your liver and your microbiome are GMOs, so non-organic food. Birth control, unfortunately, is terrible, terrible. Antibiotics, pesticides, non-filtered water, vegetable oils, which are in everything, everywhere you go, every restaurant. It's hard to escape. Processed foods. So we need to be eating a lot of things that help our gut and microbiome, like fermented foods, bone broth, an anti-inflammatory diet, lots of clean, filtered water, and then doing things that help the detoxification process every day, like dry brushing, oil pulling, sweating, drinking green juice and smoothies. So, your microbiome and your liver and your gut are very, very important. Avoid what harms it, take in what heals it. So step number 3, we have to master our environment. So we know that whatever we put on our skin is absorbed into our bloodstream within 30 seconds. So, ladies, our personal care products are full of not good stuff. They're full of what are called endocrine disruptors, which means they have compounds in them that mimic estrogens in our body and mimic other hormones in our body. And so these endocrine disruptors, they're directly messing up the balance of our hormones. They also contain carcinogens, which we know are cancer-causing chemicals. So when you put these products on your skin, one, they're overburdening your liver. Your liver is what detoxifies excess hormones, okay? A lot of hormonal problems like PMS, mood swings, weight gain, skin issues are caused by something called estrogen dominance. Estrogen dominance occurs because your liver and your gut are not getting out your they're not circulating the estrogen that's in your body. It's not excreting it from your body. So when that happens, it gets backed up into your bloodstream and it causes all these problems. Well, your personal care products are causing your liver to be more burdened and not being able to circulate them, and it's creating more and more estrogen in your body. All these lotions and shampoos and creams are creating more and more estrogen in your body, which leads to PMS and all of these most hormonal problems. So we really need to make sure that we're going to the bathroom every single day. If you're not, you can talk to me and we can work on that, because that's so important in flushing out all of the excess hormones that lead to other things. And so we really need to make sure we got to watch the products we're putting on our skin because they're bad for our liver and they are endocrine disruptors and they're adding excess estrogen into our bloodstream, which is causing mood, weight, and very many hormonal issues. All right. So those were the 3 kind of body things. So we really need to eat an anti-inflammatory diet, take care of our gut, our liver, and our microbiome. Watch everything that we're putting on our skin. And number 4 is where is the biggest step I've noticed. So you could be doing everything right, eating right, exercising right, but if your mind is not in the right place, then not much is going to happen. For me personally, I realized that my mind was causing most of my hormonal and health and skin issues. When I took control of my mind, everything changed, everything healed, everything got better. So that's why it's so important to do this mental and emotional training. So I'm really going to dive into this because I think it's the most important part. You guys ready? Awesome. Okay, so your body can only be in one of 2 states at any time. One state is when your hormone and immune system are working and everything's flowing how it should. That's called parasympathetic state. Or you can be in another state, which is when your hormone and your immune system are completely shut down, also known as fight or flight or sympathetic. So either your hormonal system's running or your hormonal system shut down. Unfortunately, most of the time these days, our hormonal system, we're in the fight or flight state most of our day, so our hormonal system's not even getting a chance to work how it should. So no matter what you do, if you're not in a state of healing and you're not in that parasympathetic state, no matter what you eat, no matter what supplements you take, you're not going to heal. So you've got to learn how to get yourself out of that state. One, you got to learn how to notice when you're in that state and then learn how to get out of it, so your hormone and your immune systems can actually run. So we're going to talk a lot about training our mind. And I think there's about 5 steps to training our mind. This is huge. If you take away anything from this whole presentation, this whole class, remember this. Change your thoughts and change your words. Okay, remember this. Your mind controls your brain, and your brain controls your body. So your brain, which is in control of making neurotransmitters, making serotonin and dopamine and endorphins that make you feel good, making estrogen and progesterone and testosterone to make you feel good. Your brain controls that all, but your mind controls and changes your brain, which is absolutely incredible. So every time you think and you speak words, your brain is literally creating hormones and chemicals. So every thought you think is creating hormones and brain chemicals. So if you're thinking a bunch of negative, sad, angry, fear thoughts, you are literally you're creating yourself cortisol, stress hormones, and all the hormones that are not good for your body. When you generate positive thoughts, you can literally generate serotonin and dopamine and progesterone. So we don't have to wait, or we don't even necessarily have to take it. We can generate it on our own through our thoughts, which is amazing. So every thought we think is actually a structure in our brain. It's a physical structure, and it looks like a tree. So every time you think about something, that structure grows. So we're literally in charge of what kind of structures we are growing in our mind. Okay, so the biggest thing to take away, whatever you're telling yourself, whatever you're telling your body, will come true. So if you're telling yourself that you can't lose weight, if you're telling yourself that you're fat, if you're telling yourself you have bad skin, if you're telling yourself you can't get pregnant, if you're telling yourself you have hormonal issues, anything you're telling yourself, anything that you think is wrong with your body, and you keep thinking that, you're literally sending signals to your body to make that happen. So your brain's hearing, oh, I have bad skin, or I'm fat. Well, it's literally sending chemicals to make that happen. So we really want to focus on what we want and what we don't want. And we have to be so careful about what we're thinking and what we're saying to ourselves. We just have no idea how powerful and how much it's truly affecting our body. And so the newest discovery is called neuroplasticity, and it's basically a scientific discovery proving that we can rewire our brains through our thoughts, words, and choices. So we can physically create new neural pathways, and we can destroy old ones, which means we can wire out all these toxic beliefs and experiences and habits and thinking patterns, and wire in amazing habits, outstanding thinking patterns. Basically, we can wire anything we want in and out of our brain, which is incredible. So change your thoughts would have the biggest impact on your entire body. The second one is we have to change our beliefs. So we have two minds, okay? We have a conscious mind, which is what you're using right now. It's basically only operating when you're consciously choosing to speak or listen. Our subconscious mind is 99% of who we are. It's what runs us when we are on autopilot, which we are on autopilot way more than we think. When we're driving, when we're daydreaming, when we're about to sleep, when we're not listening. Basically, whatever's in our subconscious, it just drives you without you even having control over it. So it's responsible for how you view life, how you view yourself, how you view others, how you react to situations, and it's the determining factor of what you will be able to accomplish and what you think is possible in this life. So it's based on how you grew up. So you could have a lot of programs in you based on how you grew up that could be holding you back. So we really, really, really need to question our beliefs and our thoughts and create new beliefs and thoughts to align to the life that we want. And so one way to do this is to really start asking questions. So what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about money? And what do you believe about relationships? What do you believe about success? What do you believe about people? So you could believe yourself that you could have some negative beliefs about yourself, that you can't do this, you can't do that. Money, I could never do this job, I can never make this much. Relationships, I could never. You just have a lot of negative. It's usually a lot of negative beliefs we have. And so really just starting to question any area of your life that you're struggling with right now. So what's an area in your life that you're really struggling with? And then just pray and ask God, what are my beliefs in this area? Like what am I believing that I need to not believe, because it's creating my reality, and I want to create a new reality. So really, any areas you're struggling with, always question your beliefs. Okay, number 3 in changing your mind is our perception. So we have all heard this a lot of times, but however you view something, or you can see that glass half full, half empty. We know that. The interesting thing about that is how you choose to look at a situation is what determines if your body stays in the healing state or the shutdown state, in the parasympathetic state or the sympathetic state, fight or flight or heal. So something terribly stressful could happen to you. If you just use your mind, you can still have feelings about it, that's fine, but if you just use your mind and say, this situation's making me stronger. oh, I'm feeling this stress, but it's actually a good thing. It's making me perform better. I'm not stressed out and nervous. I'm excited. If you start viewing it that way, your body chemistry literally responds to your thoughts, and you stay in the healing state. So you could have the most stressful things happening around you. If your thoughts about it are okay, your body will not go into stress mode. So it's really interesting about, we can all deal with stress differently, and we all can get way better at dealing with stress and have it not affect our body, which is pretty cool. So our thoughts about stress are what determines if our body is hormonally balanced or not. So it's actually not stress or circumstances that create health and mental problems. It's our perception of them. That's the signal to our body. So if that we believe that this stress is bad, it's inescapable, and there's nothing we can do to change it, that's the signal to every cell in your body to react in a negative way, to shut down. So if we change our perception, we can get well and stay well. So basically, whenever you're triggered, okay, whenever you're in a really, really hard situation, if we can just take the time and stop for a second, if we can catch ourselves and stop for a second and change the way we see it, we can change the way our body reacts to it, which is incredible. And that's a skill, and it's practice, and the more you do it, the better you get. So changing your perception is incredible. Okay, so gratitude. We have something in the part of our brain called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is the filter of your mind, of your brain. So basically, you're taking in billions and billions and billions of sensory and information around you. But you're only conscious of a few things at one time. Your subconscious is aware of it all, but it's only giving to your conscious mind what you have deemed important by your habitual mental setup. So what you think about over and over again is what your mind is going to scan the world for and give you more of, okay? We've all experienced this. You've heard the silly stories about the car. You start seeing your car everywhere, or you start seeing pregnant women everywhere. That's what I'm doing right now, just because I'm pregnant. And it's so that's the amazing part. We can set the filter of our mind for our brain to scan the whole world and give us what we want to see out of it. And you do this by focusing on what you want more of. So gratitude is absolutely incredible. Not only does it change your vibrational state and your energetic state in your body, it creates amazing hormones like oxytocin and progesterone, which make you feel amazing. It also, when you focus on what you're grateful for, your brain will scan the world to give you more things to be grateful for, which is amazing. Gratitude is the most healing state your body can be in. So anytime you're triggered in a situation, anytime you're feeling sad, angry, jealous, gratitude is honestly the easiest fix to get yourself out of it and to get yourself back into a hormone balanced state. By just simply closing your eyes, thinking about, okay, what am I grateful for? What's really going on right now? And changing your perception, changing what you're focusing on. You just have to choose your focus. And so the best times to do this, your brain waves are in a very, very unique state right when you wake up and right when you go to bed. This state is very highly programmable. So like you can program your brain very easily at these times, and your brain is very able to take in whatever you say. So if you can fall asleep thinking about what you're grateful for and what you love and what you enjoy and what you want in your life and what you want to look like, what you want to feel like, what you want to accomplish, And if you can wake up and do that, you're setting the filter of your brain to give you more of that, which is incredible. So gratitude, super fast fix anytime you are triggered. All right, last one in how to really kind of take control of your mind is visualization. So visualization will change your life. And I know it's kind of another thing that sounds a little out there, but it truly is incredible, and it truly does incredible things to your body. Because like we said, your mind controls your brain, and your brain controls your body. So when you visualize, you are actually changing your brain. You're creating new neural pathways in your brain every time you think and imagine, which is incredible. So your brain actually doesn't know the difference between something that's imagined and what's real. So when you visualize, your brain begins to make chemicals and hormones as if it were already happening. So you could close your eyes and just visualize that you're on a beach, that you're in the mountains, that whatever place is really just peaceful to you, and your brain will actually start making the hormones and chemicals as if you're actually there, which is great. Same thing as it sometimes if you really detailed visualize any kind of food or anything, your body actually begins to salivate. So your mind is just incredibly powerful, and we can use it to change our bodies, and we really need to remember that. So visualization changes your brain, which changes your body. So super important to visualize any health concern you have right now, visualizing how you want to feel. Visualizing yourself healthy, visualizing yourself strong, visualizing yourself with tons of energy, visualizing yourself with clear skin, visualizing yourself pregnant. Although it might seem weird at first, it's it's actually changing your brain, which is changing your body. And you can't just do it once. Like you have to do it every day, and you have to be very intentional about rewiring your brain. It's not something that's just going to happen. It's something that takes intention every day for you to do. But if you know that it changes your body, it's actually very exciting and fun to do. So visualization is great. Visualize whatever you already want to be true, and then begin to feel like it already is. So any beliefs you want to change, say you want to be a really joyful person and you're not a really joyful person, or you have a lack mindset. You think you never have enough time, you never have enough money, you never have enough anything. That's a belief that you can change. It's a lack belief, but you can wire out lack and wire in abundance. So every morning, just think about just that I'm blessed with abundance, and I have, and visualize what you want. And that will begin to change your brain, which will change your beliefs, which will change your actions, and which will change your emotions and your feelings. So our mind is the most powerful tool we have, and we really need to take advantage of it to balance our hormones and change our entire life and reality. So what I do every morning is take some time, visualize what I want for my health. So what do I want to look like? What do I want to feel like? I visualize what I want for my mindset. So what do I want to, what kind of mindsets do I want to have? Do I want to be abundant? Do I want to be joyful? Do I want to be full of energy? Like, what mindset do I want? I visualize that, feel that. And then I visualize what we want, my husband and I want for our life. So for my birth, for my career, for his career. It's just amazing what it does. It's really creating the pathways in your body as if it already happened. So visualization, huge. Any health concern you're dealing with, visualize how you want to be, and that'll change so much more than you ever know. Okay, so This is the fifth and final step of balancing your hormones and mind. So, we know what to eat. We know how to eat. We know certain things we need to do every day and avoid to take care of our liver and our gut and our hormones. And we know that our thoughts are more powerful than anything else in the world. Now, that's great to know all of that, right? It's great. But a lot of people can hear all this and then not do one thing with it. And so that's why the most important thing I think that we can ever do with our lives is learn how to become habit masters. To be constantly picking up new habits, so we can have all these amazing skills and have it be automatic and something we don't have to struggle with and fight through to do every day. So we know that our life is determined by our habits, our eating, our exercise, our thoughts. We have physical habits and mental habits. So how you see life, how you feel every day, even things like anxiety are actually habits because you've done it so much. So for example, I had really bad anxiety, right? Well, I worried so much about everything that those were the pathways I had created in my mind. And so my mind easily went there because that's the paths that were created. So I had to intentionally create new pathways, and destroy those old ones, so my brain had a new automatic way of going, which is just a habit, which is actually pretty fascinating. So, mindsets are habits. You can retrain your brain and physically create new pathways, controlling how you think and what you do. It really is up to you. But first, we need to recognize the old patterns and mindsets our mind has been programmed to, and then change them into what you want them to be. So, you really just gotta take a deep look inside of yourself. So, do you see lack of money, of time, of anything all the time? Are you negative a lot? Do you worry a lot? Do you have low self-confidence? All of that you can wire out and wire something back in. So now, think about how do you want to look and how do you want to feel? What do you want your life to be like? I would literally write all of this out. Once you have that, then you can start asking yourselves, what are the habits I need to achieve that? And then you can practice that, and then it will become part of you, automatic, part of who you naturally are without even having to think about it, which is so nice. It really is. It's very, very nice. And so habits, I think, are the most important part of everything because it's actually how you create true lasting change without making it hard. A lot of people try to pick up way too many habits at once and then don't do any of it, which is not good, right? So I have a specific habit system where you work on one mind habit and one physical, like body habit per 2 months, 1 month or 2 months, depending on how hard it is. And what this does is it makes it easy and manageable because you're just focusing on one thing each day and you're wiring it so deeply into your brain that it just becomes automatic and part of who you naturally are. So it's really important to do that, and that's why I think when you create habits, you will change your life. Now, so those are the steps that I really truly believe balance your hormones and mind. So eating an anti-inflammatory diet, eating in a way that supports your blood sugar and allows you to absorb and assimilate nutrients, taking care of your gut, your microbiome, and your liver each day, which I didn't go into too much crazy details of how you can do that, but we talk a lot about that on Renewing All Things. And of course, cleaning up your environment and taking control of your thoughts and making them all habits. So I've just created just a program that kind of takes all this information and helps you apply it to your life. So in this program, what I've included is detailed lessons about these 5 steps you just learned about. So you'll have all the information I just talked about, and you'll have action steps of how do you actually apply that to your life. You'll have a workbook to go along with the 5 lessons that has questions, tips, checklists of how to implement each one of them. And then you can make your own hormone and mind survival binder, which is really, really great to have just for life in general. So I like to just get a big binder, print out all these handouts that I'm going to give you, put them all in one place so you'll have all these tools that you need to balance your hormones in your mind. So in that book, you'll get mental and emotional training tools and techniques. So basically, I just give you a few tools that have really helped me whenever I feel triggered by anger, by jealousy, by fear, by worry, by anxiety. What do I do with that to make sure my mind and my hormones stay in the right spot? What are some tools that I can use to help that? So I can include that. I include a daily hormone balancing checklist and cheat sheet. So basically, really good things, lifestyle and mind techniques of things you can do each day to help you stay mentally, physically, and spiritually strong. You have a sheet with awesome hormone balancing foods and supplements, which is great. You have a list of foods to avoid, foods to eat, meal plans, recipes, and I also include just a 1-week easy meal planning template that kind of allows you to throw easy meals together fast without spending a lot of time or having to create a lot of recipes. So all of that is included in the program. The last thing that's included in the program is actually another thing that I usually am going to sell apart from the program, but it's a 30-day transformation journal, which basically every day in the journal includes affirmations, so basically new beliefs to program into your mind, health tips, so really, really fun, easy health tips that you can do that day to help you feel awesome. Mind nourishment, because it's really so important. We have to feed our mind every single day. Otherwise, it's just going to go downhill, and we all know what that feels like. So we have to continually feed our mind in order to stay in a good state. And then body nourishment. We have to be nourishing our bodies every day. We have to love our bodies. We have to treat them very nice. We have to get pleasure from our food. We have to eat slow. So we have to take care of our body. We know that. So it has mind nourishment, body nourishment, and then it gives you a template of how to do your habits that you're working on. So what you're going to do is at the beginning of the month, you're going to pick one mindset habit and one physical habit that you want to become part of who you naturally are. So say it's I want to drink more water every day and I want to get rid of my lack mindset. So for every day, for 30 days, you're just going to work on that. You're going to and start wiring that into your mind and wiring out whatever else you need to that goes along with that. And it just helps you do that because it keeps it in front of you. It keeps, I love having it at the beginning of the day, just reviewing it at the beginning, reviewing it at the end, keeping your mind in a really great spot. It has a great place for your gratitude and setting the filter over your mind, your habits, an awesome journal, and that's also included in the program. So thank you guys so much. That was your Balancing Your Hormones and Mind course. If you have any questions, you can go to renewingallthings.com and you can see more about the program there. Facebook is /renewingallthings and Instagram is @renewingallthings. You can always reach out to me with any questions you have. And I'm so excited that you joined me today, and I look forward to talking with you soon.